Welcome to the Smith Corona 10-day touch typewriting course, and congratulations on owning a Smith Corona. If you follow instructions carefully, take time to correct any weaknesses which develop, and practice as suggested, you should soon be typing faster than most people write by hand. Additional speed and skill will, of course, come with practice. Have you studied the preliminary instructions and correct typing technique illustrations on page 1 of your typing textbook? Have you examined the keyboard and finger diagram on page 2 and identified the home keys? If not, stop the record now and do so before proceeding with this lesson. Now, look at your typewriter keyboard. Locate the home keys A, S, D, F, and J, K, L, semicolon, on the second row above the space bar. Curve your fingers naturally and rest their tips lightly on the home keys as follows. Left hand fingers. Fourth or little finger on A. Third or ring finger on S. Second or middle finger on D. First or index finger on F. Right hand fingers. Fourth or little finger on semicolon. Third or ring finger on L. Second or middle finger on K. First or index finger on J. Your fingers will be in proper home key position if there are two uncovered keys, G and H, between your hands. Now drop your arms to the sides of your body. Place your fingers in home key position. Once more, drop your arms to the sides of your body. Place your fingers in home key position. In typing, the space bar is struck with the right thumb only. The left thumb is held loosely under the left palm. Place your fingers on the home keys and hold the left thumb under the left palm. Hold the right thumb about 1/2 inch above the center of the space bar. Keeping the other fingers on the home keys, strike the space bar with the right thumb each time I say space. Ready? Space. Space, 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 space. To return the carriage for a new line of typing, keep the right-hand fingers on the home keys and strike the carriage return lever firmly with the left hand, palm downward, fingers close together. Strike with a firm stroke and return the left hand quickly to the home keys. Ready? Hands on home keys. Left hand out, palm downward. Return carriage. Left hand back on home keys. We will now type on the home keys. Keep your fingers on the home keys. Strike each key quickly as it is called and release it instantly. Keep your eyes on the typing chart in your textbook and call each letter as it is struck. Ready? Type. Left little finger, strike A. Left ring finger, strike S. Left middle finger, strike D. Left index finger, strike F. Right thumb, space. Right little finger, strike semicolon. Right ring finger, strike L. Right middle finger, strike K. Right index finger, strike J. Now let's practice the home keys. Ready? A, S, D, F, space, semicolon, L, K, J, space, A, S, D, F, space, semicolon, L, K, J, space, A, S, D, F, space, semicolon, L, K, J, space, A, S, D, F, space, semicolon, L, K, J, return carriage. A, S, D, F, space, semicolon, L, K, J, space, A, S, D, F, space, semicolon, L, K, J, space, A, S, D, F, space, semicolon, L, K, J, space, A, S, D, F, space, semicolon, L, K, J, return carriage. The G key is struck with the left index finger, the H key with the right index finger. We will now type on these keys, then on all the keys on the home row. Ready? Fingers on the home keys. Type each letter as I call it out. F, G, F, space, J, H, J, space, 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 F, G, F, space, J, H, J, return carriage. Now let's continue typing on all of the home row keys. Ready? Type A, S, D, F, G, space, semicolon, L, K, J, H, space, A, S, D, F, G, space, semicolon, L, K, J, H, space, A, S, D, F, G, space, semicolon, L, K, J, H, space, A, S, D, F, G, space, semicolon, L, K, J, H, return carriage. How is that? Are you relaxed? You should be sitting up straight, but without stiffness, and should feel comfortable. Don't ever let yourself become tense at the typewriter. Now let's type some more on the home row keys. Ready? Type F, 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 space, F, 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 space, J, 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 space, J, 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 space, F, 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 space, F, G, G, space, J, 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 space, J, H, H, return carriage, D, 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 space, D, 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 space, K, 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 space, K, 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 space, S, 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 space, S, 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 space, L, 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 space, L, 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 return carriage, A, 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 space, A, A, space, semicolon, 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 space, semicolon, 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 space, F, J, F, space, F, J, F, space, D, K, D, space, D, K, D. Return carriage. S, L, S, space, S, L, S, space, A, semicolon, S, space, A, semicolon, A, space, F, G, F, space, J, H, J, space, F, G, F, space, J, H, J. Return carriage. Stop typing. Still relaxed? Take just a moment to wiggle your fingers and settle yourself in your chair. Sitting up straight? By now, if you're using a light snap on the keys, I'm sure you've noticed how nearly effortless it is to type on a Smith Corona Portable. Now again, place your fingers in position on the home keys. Look at the keyboard to make certain the fingers are on the proper home keys. Eyes back to the typing chart in your textbook. Are you ready? Type F, J, D, K, S, L, A, semicolon, space, F, J, D, K, S, L, A, semicolon, space, F, G, H, D, K, S, L, A, semicolon, space, F, G, J, H, D, K, S, L, A, semicolon, return carriage. A, semicolon, S, L, D, K, F, J, G, H, space, A, semicolon, S, L, D, K, F, J, G, H. Stop typing. You have now completed Lesson 1 of your Smith Corona 10-day touch typewriting course. If you kept up with me on the drill practice, you were typing at an approximate speed of 5 words per minute. Lesson 2 will be found on pages 3 and 4 of your textbook. It consists of additional home row drill and word practice. If you would like additional voice practice before doing this, replay this record. Good luck with Lesson 2. Return to Side 2 of this record for Lesson 3, covering the home row and third row keys. Welcome back to the recorded portion of the Smith Corona 10-day touch typewriting course. This is Lesson 3. First, turn to page 5 of your textbook. Study the touch typewriting chart on page 5. On the row above the home row keys, locate the keys Q, W, E, R, T, and P, O, I, U, Y. Now look at your typewriter keyboard. Locate the keys Q, W, E, R, T, and P, O, I, U, Y on the keyboard. Curve your fingers naturally and rest them lightly on the home keys. When you are making any one of the reaches for the keys on the third row, keep the remaining fingers resting lightly on the home keys. Strike the middle of the key with a quick, even stroke and return the finger immediately to its home key. Watch your fingers as you make the following reaches. Left hand. A finger up to Q and return to A. S finger up to W and return to S. D finger up to E and return to D. F finger up to R and return to F. F finger up to T and return to F. Right hand. Semicolon finger up to P and return to semicolon. L finger up to O and return to L. K finger up to I and return to K. J finger up to U and return to J. J finger up to Y and return to J. Now, with your fingers resting lightly on the home keys and your eyes on the touch typewriting chart, strike the Q key quickly with the A finger and return the finger to the home key. Now, strike W with the S finger, E with the D finger, and R with the F finger. Strike the space bar with the right thumb and release it instantly. Strike P with the semicolon finger. Now strike O with the L finger, I with the K finger, and U with the J finger. The T key is directly to the right of the R key. Strike the T key with the F finger. The Y key is directly to the left of the U key. Strike the Y key with the J finger. Now let's practice on the home row and third row. As I call each letter or punctuation mark, strike the middle of the correct key with a quick, even stroke. Silently call each letter or punctuation mark as the key is struck. Fingers in position on the home keys. Look at the keyboard to make certain your fingers are on the proper keys. Be sure your fingers are curved and resting lightly on the home keys. Keep your eyes on the touch typewriting chart on page 5 of your textbook. How's your posture? Are your feet flat on the floor? Ready? Type. F, T, F, space. F, T, F, space. F, T, F, space. J, Y, J, space. J, Y, J, space. J, Y, J, space. F, R, F, space. F, R, F, space. F, R, F, space. J, U, J, space. J, U, J, space. J, U, J, return carriage. D, E, D, space. D, E, D, space. D, E, D, space. K, I, K, space. K, I, K, space. K, I, K, space. S, W, S, space. S, W, S, space. S, W, S, space. L, O, L, space. L, O, L, space. L, O, L, return carriage. A, Q, A, space. A, Q, A, space. A, Q, A, space. Semicolon, P, semicolon, space. Semicolon, P, semicolon, space. Semicolon, P, semicolon, space. T, 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 space. T, 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 space. T, 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 space. Y, 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 space. Y, 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 space. Y, 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 return carriage. R, 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 space. R, 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 space. R, 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 space. U, 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 space. U, 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 space. U, 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 space. E, 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 space. E, 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 space. E, 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 space. I, space. I, space. I. Return carriage. W, 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 space. W, 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 space. W, 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 space. O, 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 space. O, 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 space. O, 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 space. Q, 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 space. Q, 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 space. Q, 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 space. P, 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 space. P, 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 space. P, P, P. Return carriage. Stop typing. Are you relaxed? You should be, you know. Typing on a Smith Corona portable typewriter requires less effort than almost anything else you do all day. Now let's type some other combinations of home row and third row keys. Fingers in position on the home keys. Look at the keyboard to make certain the fingers are on the proper home keys. Ready? Type. F, T, H, F, space. J, Y, G, J, space. F, R, H, F, space. J, U, G, J, space. D, E, H, D, space. K, I, G, K, space. S, W, H, S, space. L, O, G, L, space. A, Q, H, A, space. Semicolon. P, G, semicolon. Return carriage. F, J, T, Y, G, space. F, J, R, U, H, space. D, K, E, I, G, space, S, L, W, O, H, space, A, semicolon, Q, P, G. Return carriage. F, T, J, Y, F, R, J, U, D, E, space, K, I, S, W, L, O, A, Q, semicolon, P, space, F, T, J, Y, F, R, J, U, D, E, space, K, I, S, W, L, O, A, Q, semicolon, P. Stop typing. You have now completed Lesson 3 of your Smith Corona 10-day touch typewriting course, and I'm sure you are finding it easier to type on the Smith Corona portable typewriter than you would ever have believed possible. Lesson 4 will be found on pages 6 and 7 of your textbook. It consists of additional letter and word practice. If you would like additional voice practice before going on, replay this record. Your next recorded instruction will be Lesson 5, Side 1 of Record 2, covering the home row, third row, and bottom row keys. You are now ready for Lesson 5 of the Smith Corona 10-day touch typewriting course. First, turn to page 8 of your textbook. Look at the touch typewriting chart and locate the keys Z, X, C, V, B, and slant, period, comma, M, N on the bottom row. Now look at your typewriter keyboard. Locate the keys Z, X, C, V, B, and slant, period, comma, M, N on the bottom row of keys. Curve your fingers naturally and rest them lightly on the home keys. Look at the keyboard of your typewriter to make certain your fingers are on the proper home keys. When you are making any one of the reaches for keys on the bottom or third rows, keep the remaining fingers resting lightly on the home keys. Strike the middle of the key with a quick, even stroke and return the finger immediately to its home key. Study your fingers as you make the following reaches. Left hand. A finger down to Z and return to A. S finger down to X and return to S. D finger down to C and return to D. F finger down to V and return to F. Right hand. Semicolon finger down to slant and return to semicolon. L finger down to period and return to L. K finger down to comma and return to K. J finger down to M and return to J. J finger down to N and return to J. With your fingers resting lightly on the home keys and your eyes on the touch typewriting chart, strike the Z key quickly with the A finger and return the finger to the home key. Now strike X with the S finger, C with the D finger, and V with the F finger. Strike the space bar with the right thumb. Strike slant with the semicolon finger. Now strike period with the L finger, comma with the K finger, and M with the J finger. The B key is directly to the right of the V key. Strike the B key with the F finger. The N key is directly to the right of the M key. Strike the N key with the J finger. Now let's practice on the home row, bottom row, and third row. As I call each letter or punctuation mark, strike the middle of the correct key with a quick, even stroke. Silently call each letter or punctuation mark as the key is struck. Fingers in position on the home keys. Look at the keyboard to make certain your fingers are on the proper keys. Keep your eyes on the touch typewriting chart at the top of page 8 of your textbook. Ready? Type F, B, F, space. F, B, F, space. F, B, F, space. J, N, J, space. J, N, J, space. J, N, J, space. F, V, F, space. F, V, F, space. F, V, F, space. J, M, J, space. J, M, J, space. J, M, J. Return carriage. D, C, D, space. D, C, D, space. D, C, D, space. K, comma, K, space. K, comma, K, space. K, comma, K, space. S, X, S, space, S, X, S, space, S, X, S, space, L, period, L, space, L, period, L, space, L, period, L. Return carriage. A, Z, A, space, A, Z, A, space, A, Z, A, space, semicolon, slant, semicolon, space, semicolon, slant, semicolon, space, semicolon, slant, semicolon, space, B, 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 space, B, 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 space, B, 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 space, N, 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 space, N, 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 space, N, N, N. Return carriage. V, 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 space, V, 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 space, V, 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 space, M, 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 space, M, 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 space, M, 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 space, C, 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 space, C, 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 space, C, 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 space, comma, 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 space, comma, 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 space, comma, comma, comma. Return carriage. X, 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 space, X, space. X, 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 space. Period, 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 space. Period, 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 space. Period, 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 space. Z, 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 space. Z, 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 space. Z, 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 space. Slant, 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 space. Slant, 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 space. Slant, slant, slant. Return carriage. Stop typing. Are you relaxed and comfortable? For this is the secret of effortless typing. Be comfortably relaxed and use a light snap on the keys. Now, here are some other letter combinations. Fingers in position on the home keys. Look at the keyboard to make certain your fingers are on the proper home keys. Eyes back to the touch typewriting chart. Ready? Type. F, B, H, F, space. J, N, G, J, space. F, V, H, F, space. J, M, G, J, space. D, C, H, D, space. K, comma, G, K, space. S, X, H, S, space. L, period, G, L, space. A, Z, H, A, space. Semicolon, slant, G, semicolon, return carriage. F, B, J, N, G, space. F, V, J, M, H, space, D, C, K, comma, G, space, S, X, L, period, H, space, A, Z, semicolon, slant, G, return carriage, F, B, F, T, space, J, N, J, Y, space, F, V, F, R, space, J, M, J, U, space, D, C, D, E, space, K, comma, K, I, space, S, X, S, W, space, L, period, L, O, space, A, Z, A, Q, space, semicolon, slant, semicolon, P, return carriage, stop typing. You have now mastered the first 3 rows of keys, including all of the alphabet keys. You can now type any word that you can spell. The next lesson, Lesson 6, will be found on pages 9 and 10 of your textbook. It consists of additional letter practice and word practice. If you would like additional voice practice before going on, replay this record. Your next recorded instruction will be Lesson 7 on side 2 of this record, covering the home row, third row, bottom row, and numeral row keys. You are now in the home stretch of the Smith Corona 10-day touch typewriting course. This is Lesson 7. When you complete this record, you will have mastered all 4 rows of your typewriter keyboard. First, turn to page 11 of your textbook and look at the touch typewriting chart. Locate the keys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and dash, 0, 9, 8, 7, and 6. If the extreme left key on the top row of your Smith Corona keyboard is not the numeral 1, then strike the small letter L for the numeral 1. Now look at your typewriter keyboard. Locate the keys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and dash, 0, 9, 8, 7, and 6. Curve your fingers naturally and rest them lightly on the home keys. Look at the keyboard of your typewriter to make certain your fingers are on the proper home keys. When you are making any one of the reaches for keys on the top, bottom, or third rows, keep the remaining fingers resting lightly on the home keys. Strike the middle of the key with a quick, even stroke and return the finger immediately to its home key. Study your fingers as you make the following reaches. Left hand. A finger to Q, to 1, and return to A. S finger to W, to 2, and return to S. D finger to E, to 3, and return to D. F finger to R, to 4, and return to F. F finger to R, to 5, and return to F. Right hand. Semicolon finger to P, to dash, and return to semicolon. Semicolon finger to P, to 0, and return to semicolon. L finger to O, to 9, and return to L. K finger to I, to 8, and return to K. J finger to U, to 7, and return to J. J finger to U, to 6, and return to J. With your fingers resting lightly on the home keys, and with your eyes on the touch typewriting chart, strike the 1 key quickly with the A finger and return the finger to the home key, or strike the small letter L for the numeral 1. Now strike 2 with the S finger, 3 with the D finger, and 4 with the F finger. Strike the space bar. Strike dash with the semicolon finger. Now strike 0 with the P finger, 9 with the L finger, 8 with the K finger, and 7 with the J finger. The 5 key is directly to the right of the 4 key. Strike the 5 key with the F finger. The 6 key is directly to the left of the 7 key. Strike the 6 key with the J finger. Now, some practice using all 4 rows of keys. Silently call each letter, numeral, or punctuation mark as key is struck. Fingers in position on the home keys. Look at the keyboard to make certain the fingers are on the proper keys. Eyes back to the touch typewriting chart. Ready? Type. F, R, 5, F, space, J, U, 6, J, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124 space. F R 4 F space. J U 7 J space. D E 3 D space. K I 8 K space. S W 2 S space. L O 9 L space. A Q 1 A space. Semicolon P 0 semicolon space. Semicolon P dash semicolon return carriage. F 5 F space. J 6 J space. F 4 F space. J 7 J space. D 3 D space. K 8 K space. S 2 S space. L 9 L space. A 1 A space. Semicolon 0 semicolon space. Semicolon dash semicolon return carriage. F 5 J 6 space. F 4 J 7 space. D 3 K 8 space. S 2 L 9 space. A 1 semicolon dash return carriage. Stop typing. Now let's try some drill practice on numerals only. Fingers in position on the home keys. Look at the keyboard to make certain the proper fingers are on the proper home keys. Eyes back to the touch typewriting chart. 1 space. 0 space. 2 space. 9 space. 3, space. 8, space. 4, space. 7, space. 5, space. 6, space. 1, space. 0, space. 2, space. 9, space. 3, space. 8, space. 4, space. 7, space. 5, space. 6, return carriage. 1, 0, space. 2, 9, space. 3, 8, space. 4, 7, space. 5, 6, space. 1, 0, space. 2, 9, space. 3, 8, space. 4, 7, space. 5, 6, space. 1, 0, 1, space. 2, 9, 2, space. 3, 8, 3, space. 4, 7, 4, space. 5, 6, 5, return carriage. Now for some words and numerals. I will call the letters of each word and then the numeral. Ready? Type. C, H, E, E, R, space. 1, space. A, B, I, L, I, T, Y, space. 0, space. E, X, P, A, N, S, E, space. 2, space. V, E, R I L Y space 9 space B R E E Z E space 3 return carriage T R A C K space 8 space B U S I N E S S space 4 space F O X Y space 7 space B O T H space 5 space C A M E R A space 6 return carriage C A S H space 3 space A B O V E space 7 space Z E R O space 4 space M A N N E R space 6 space C O M P L E X space 5 stop typing. You have now used all 4 rows of keys on your typewriter keyboard. 3 more lessons and you'll be well on your way to becoming an accomplished typist. Your speed and accuracy will get better and better with practice, and you'll be happy to know that no matter how fast a typist you become, your Smith Corona portable typewriter will keep up with you. Using proper rhythm, even world champion typists cannot jam the keys, because your Smith Corona is the world's fastest portable typewriter. Lesson 8 will be found on pages 12 and 13 of your textbook. It consists of additional practice on all 4 rows of keys. Lessons 9 and 10 cover shifting for capital letters, special characters and punctuation marks, and some word and sentence combinations to help you achieve more speed and accuracy. Remember, be relaxed and comfortable. Fingers naturally curved and resting lightly on the guide keys, a quick snap of the finger to strike a key, and with practice, that's all there is to it. Good luck to you. I hope you're enjoying your Smith Corona portable typewriter, because as time goes by, you'll find it to be one of the best of helps at home, in school, in business, all through your life.